So hello, I'm playing a little weekend tournament in Helsinki. It's called the RAM tournament, 20th year celebration. I skipped the first round because it was on Friday and it's not so easy to get there from Turku. So the second round I faced Anastasia Nazarova. She's part of the women's national team, playing the first board for quite some years now. So of course I wanted to win, so I played Khan. I don't know too much about it, but I did at least win one nice game in Finnish championship. So yeah, it's definitely. um, I mean, basically, there's very few openings I know a lot. I just know bits from a lot of the openings, but also missing so many things. Um, yeah, I don't have too much time to talk about things, so I will quickly just go through the game. So yeah, basically I'm putting some kind of pressure here on f2. That's kind of like the point here. It's kind of combative opening, hoping for some queen g4, and then things can get spicy with knight f6. Instead, Anastasia plays more solidly. And d5, yeah, this is basically sacrificing a pawn, but somehow some way I have to get my bishop c8 activated. And there were a lot of funny lines I was thinking about. For example, rook d1. I looked at something like this. I haven't looked at this with computer, but I think it works. Now king h8, and if takes, and actually we both saw this move, bishop f2. The idea is just to play queen h4 here, attacking the bishop, saving the bishop, and bishop g3 then next. So instead, bishop h7, winning a pawn. I actually missed queen h5. I thought the other queen moves would happen. And yeah, basically I only thought about like queen d5, and I thought the endgame would be fine with my two bishops. But this one looks kind of scary now. My king is kind of weak. Rook e8. Idea is rook e5. Bishop f4. Okay, I sacked the knight, but I get it back, and now I'm pinning the bishop to the queen. He defends bishop b8, kind of funny move. Rook a d1, queen b5, and here Anastasia basically forces a draw here. He could play, for example, f4 was, I think, kind of interesting here. Hoping for, I think, something like this, maybe, and then somehow trying to mate me on the h file. a4, queen b3, sacrificing the knight. Bishop g7. Here maybe also this one was kind of possible to play. Get it back here. I win the pawn. Equal number of pawns, but due to the dark square weaknesses, white has some chances to win here. He took here. Exciting, but it's really just a draw. If something like this, I thought I would play bishop d7, and I didn't see a checkmate. Again, I haven't checked this with the computer, but I think like my king escapes. I just have the two bishops, and there's tactics like this to exchange the rooks, and I think black should be fine here. So yeah, it was just a quick draw here. Short but exciting game. And the third round, I faced Marko Honkanen. I don't really know him. I'm not sure if I've ever played him. I did some quick preparation, and before the game, I thought I was gonna play e5, really don't know much about this either. I usually always play knight c3, but um, I can draw even arrows here. So knight c3 usually. But I thought this is kind of interesting. e5 kind of limits black's options because he doesn't have like d takes e4 and so many different lines. So this can be kind of like the easy way to play. And one modern idea nowadays is queen b6 here. And then I think you play bishop d3. And now you castle. So you sacrifice the pawn. And usually black doesn't take here. He makes like a bunch of waiting moves. And white also makes some kind of waiting moves. I don't really know what's going on, but um, somehow should be fairly good for white, at least in practical results. Um, yeah, I still have some trouble using the. I don't have a mouse here, so I use the mouse pad. That's why I went back. Still have some trouble. But yeah, the bishop d3 you play here, and after bishop bishop d7, if you now play bishop d3, I think the difference is that black can take here and play queen b6. And now d4 is hanging. This is slightly different to here because we are not gonna take on d4, we're just gonna castle. So bishop d7 avoids at least that sacrifice. So bishop e2, c takes d4 happens, queen b6 castles. And here I was hoping for knight e7, and then I would play knight a3, knight f5, knight c2. And I think it's pretty easy to play for white. Knight h6 happened, and now I was out of theory. I thought for a while and took, because I didn't really see anything else here. If knight a3, black can take, that look uncomfortable. The computer, of course, says some other possibilities, but at least during the game I didn't see anything other than taking here. And he quickly snapped on b2. He thought this was, he kind of remembered that this was an okay move. Computer says this is just not working. I thought here for a very long time. I was looking at all kinds of lines here. For example, I was looking at knight d2 with the simple idea of rook b1, which is fine. Then I was looking at some crazy lines like this. So black gets the queen out, but I take here with the idea if rook c8, I have bishop b5, and rook d8, bishop a5. Computer says black's, I think, like winning. Was it like queen e5 or something? Bishop takes, king takes. And somehow the black king is completely fine. And yeah, my pieces are kind of not so useful, especially the knight on b1. Hard to get it active. So I'm happy I didn't go for that. But yeah, during the game, I really didn't really know what to do. But somehow, I guess with just luck, I played the right move. Queen d2, queen a1, and now I blundered. So I made one move correct and the next move wrong. This is just how difficult chess is. But to be honest, I made kind of like a, I don't know, I guess a simple mistake now that I'm thinking about it. So I just took on g7. So I was worried that after knight c3, that uh, I couldn't play knight g5. I was somehow annoyed by that. I wanted to play like queen f4, knight g5, and now that's not possible. But the thing is, I have this other idea, knight b5, which what I saw, threatening of course a fork, but also going to d6, and the bishop can't really, it cannot protect d6 and h6 at the same time. So for example, I can just play here, and then h6 will fall, and then I will get my knight here, and I will get my queen active, and so on. And yeah, if it holds on to the pawn, then well, then I get my knight here, and then it's very strong. So white is, I think computer said something like +2. So instead, I played here, and there's two problems here. One is bishop b4. I saw this move, but I thought, okay, I will just find something. Like I didn't really calculate that much. I was just like, I'm sure there's something, but really, white has to be like extremely sharp to to uh, to fight back. The problem is black is gonna play rook g8 and castle long, and the queen can easily escape due to queen a2 and knight takes d4. And also the problem with this is, for example, if I play queen c2, which I think was the best move, rook g8. If I ever play knight bd2, the queen can go to. Ah. I hate this mouse pad. Where was I? Here. So if I ever play knight bd2, the queen can go to c3 because of bishop b4. And I already went to the end of the line. Queen h7 and black can just castle long. Yeah, somehow computer says this is equal 0-0 or something like that, but in human terms, nobody knows. Like basically anything can happen. It's just complete chaos. And that was like the best line. Probably I wouldn't play queen c2 because somehow it's just, I don't know, not so easy. There are like many other options. And another thing I missed here, which is really bad. So right now, only one of these moves is correct. And I should play knight a3 with the idea of, I completely missed bishop h6 and then take here. And somehow again computer says this is equal with some accurate moves from white. But I play knight c3. And like I said, I completely missed bishop h6. I just thought, basically I didn't even try to calculate any tactics from black. I just felt like there's no way there can be anything. I was only afraid of some kind of bishop b4 line. So now that the bishop was on g7, I just didn't even think about. I didn't bother calculating anything. After I moved, I saw this, but still I thought I was fine. So I played queen c2 and black took. But there was some insane line here, which was basically, yeah, it was just winning for black. Knight b4, queen b3, and now you play bishop c1, which looks completely stupid. I saw this move, but I didn't see the next move for black. I thought some kind of rook c8 was like the only try, and then I played like knight b5, and that looked fine for white. But the move is simple, queen b2. I mean, kind of simple, like logical. And yeah, there's just no moves. The queen gets out, black is up on exchange, and yeah, I would have lost the game. Like there's no way, just like I can't even fight. But we both missed this because it just looks so stupid. Bishop c1. This is like a very funny line. Logical, but very hard to see in advance. So yeah, he took, and then yeah, more mistakes happened. Knight b5. I think computer was saying something like I should play queen b2, first get out, and then be like h4, knight h2, knight g4. But instead I played this kind of logical move, rook c8. So he keeps the f rook defending f7, queen e2, hoping for some kind of, getting my queen active here. Knight b4, knight d6, rook c2, queen e1. I think also not the most accurate. Knight a2. Again, a mistake, but the refutation is not so easy to find. I completely didn't think about the best move here at all. It's like, I feel like it's kind of like out of this world here. Basically no chances I would have found it. And it's knight g5. The idea is you play queen d1, and then next queen g4, h4, win the piece back, and then the black king is weak. This is very hard to find. Instead, I play queen b1, activating my queen, but black is also kind of active here, and my queen is kind of somewhat misplaced. Like, let's say, wasting a little bit of time. Knight c3, g3, some loft for my king, knight d1. So now I saw that, okay, I'm actually in trouble. He's gonna take on f2, play bishop e3. So I have to play queen e7. Knight f2 happened, which was a mistake. The best was rook f2, and the idea is that bishop can go to c2 and g6, and it's the fight continues. Instead, he took on f2, knight g5. Now he's in big trouble. f7 is falling. He tries knight e4, but I just take, attacking the bishop. He takes. Rook takes f1, doesn't work. I calculated that. He takes here. It looks like maybe this is fine for black, but after queen e7, black has very little he can do. He could have tried rook e8, and now the best move is queen f7. He's kind of like paralyzed here. I didn't see queen f7. I was only thinking about queen a7, rook c1, and stuff like that. But queen f7 is really strong. Stopping king g8, putting pressure on the rook. Bishop d3 is coming. E6 is weak because he cannot play rook c6 because the e8 rook is hanging. So yeah, that was a very strong move. Instead, he played, which looks like a good move, rook f3. Just planning to play rook c1. And now, yeah, the final touch, the final little tactic. And you can try to find it. It's kind of funny, but very effective. Bishop d3. And yeah, he resigned here. Because if he takes, I have queen f8 mate, training mate, check does nothing, king g2, attacking the rook, attacking mate on h7. And yeah, he resigned. And that's it. See you later. Bye bye.